Hey everyone, it's Lauren here, and I'm so glad that you are tuning in to watch another devotional video. And throughout this month, we are focusing on the Holy Spirit as we gear up for Pentecost and what that means to watch the Spirit or to try to watch the Spirit be at work in our own lives. Sometimes it's can be really hard for me to discern how God is moving in my life and in the world. And so often it's so much clearer to see what God is doing by looking backwards and seeing how God has been faithful. Maybe different people that came into your life at just the perfect timing or surprising ways, perhaps, that God through the Spirit has answered your prayers. Sometimes I wonder if I have the tools needed in order to see what God is doing through the Spirit more clearly, because sometimes God operates beyond our expectations of how God might act in a given situation or over a given course of events in our lives. So I really try to focus on behaviors and tools that I can use at my disposal to be sure that I can actually see what God is doing and hopefully as it's happening and not only when I look back and see how God has been faithful. So often it's easy for us to have an idea about how God can, would, or should act. And I think that that makes us at risk for losing the ability to see the surprising ways that God is constantly acting, surprising people that God might be using and speaking to us through in our lives. I think my tool that's most useful to help me to make sure that I am open and aware to the Holy Spirit is really quietness and prayer. It can be helpful to also have an understanding of how you think God is or should be, to actually write it down and then to just observe what you think God's attributes are and how God works, and see if any of those need to be challenged in some way, shape, or form in order to encompass the broadness that God is, the broadness of God's love and welcome in this world. Also, taking time in silence and slowing down. It's hard to see how God is at work if we're too busy and frantic in our lives to even see what's in front of us very clearly, let alone something that can be more subtle as to how God is moving. So I hope to encourage you this week and the weeks to come to be curious about how God might be working through the Spirit in your life, to look at the attributes that you assign to God and to see if any of those need to be challenged, and also to spend some time in quietness in order to see God and how God's working, to slow down, and also to look for the surprising ways that God might be working through the Spirit in your life. Take care.